Excuse me. Hey guys, what's going on today? So, I was trying to think of something to talk about, and it was, as far as real world related, and something that kind of occurred to me was I was thinking a little bit about Zaratul's story, and specifically, it was something Sean had said about one of my earlier games with cosmic energy being everything up until the point that he discovered something else on Tigris, and that kind of tied in with the whole Zeratul thing with Alex and Stargazer, and it's kind of one of those things where it's like equal parts frustration and mystery and enticement. It's like it's a reason, it's a reason to love the game, but it's also a reason to be like frustrated with it because you want to know more. There's so much. I said I think this was something that was really prevalent with Zeratul, more so than like a lot of my other characters for some reason. Was there was a lot of just not knowing what was going on, or not knowing who you were up against, or what they could do, or the scope of their powers, or anything like that. And I don't want this to be turned around like, oh yeah, this is a bad game because it doesn't do that. Like, no, I had other characters that definitely had a better grasp of what was going on, but I think it was part of the thing that made me love playing Zeratul so much is like there was always this element of mystery to what was going on. Like, oh, you're facing off against these impossibly powerful characters, and you're training up to fight them. It's like, how are you gonna fight them when they're so far out of your league? And it's like you don't know like how much of the simulations are hyped up, or how much stronger than you might actually be, despite them, severely trouncing you over and over again in these simulated events. And that was something we did a lot of. Like, our training was largely like whoever Alex was with. I feel like Alex was kind of the leader, and yeah, I feel like he was kind of coordinating a lot of these training efforts. And I think he had like I said, don't quote me on this, but I want to say he was like maybe Stargazer's younger brother. But when he said brother, it might have been like a brother in arms kind of thing. It might have been through blood. I can't remember at this point. Like I said, it's been so long, and I haven't had those notes for so long. I know I hit Sean up about possibly getting them back because I remember I turned them over to him, on his request, so he could keep those. But yeah, like I said, it's just I'm not sure if that was the case, but there was definitely some sort of relationship that existed between the two of those. But the point I was getting at was cosmic energy in Sean's game is everything from what I've seen. Uh, and it might just be like these two specific cosmic beings. I was trying to remember if like Tymir had a character who was cosmic. I feel like he did. I don't remember if it was in Generations because I remember Sean describing to me like he could use it to manipulate the way like matter and physics work. Like one of his things, he could use it to like slide around like on a frictionless surface kind of thing. And I can't remember if that was Generations or if that was from another game. But I had to laugh because it didn't seem like the cosmic energy I knew from Generations. Because the cosmic movie I knew from Generations, cosmic energy I knew from Generations was one of those everything type powers. Like it was like like if we look at like the three heavy hitters, it was like Alex, it was Stargazer, and it was Harold. I think Harold, Sword of the Ancient Harold, could take Stargazer in a fight because of like more combat prowess and whatever the Sword of the Ancients exactly did. Like I think it made him, beyond like just beyond being fast and everything like that. But like raw destructive power, I don't think the Herald was even on the same scope as Stargazer was. Like Stargazer was system destroying powerful, whereas like Herald was like I'll cut you down before you ever see me powerful. And like I said, there's definitely I think once you reach into that kind of realm of power, like you can both of those have their benefits because like you might be able to destroy a planet with that person on it, but like they can also be powerful enough where they could just escape that planet's destruction and get to another one. Like you could destroy it. Like, I mean, to be fair, you could have destroyed a planet Zeratul was on, and he could escape to another planet without its destruction, and he wasn't everything. So, the it's kind of hard to quantify, just the sheer destructive potential. And then that was the other thing is like Stargazer was very much on the destructive side, I think. But I think like cosmic energy is so much more than that, and cosmic healing and in Generations is freaking insane. Like it's not so much just like the restorative ability of it. It's just how effortless it is, like to basically fully restore someone. Like I remember, like Zeratil's thing with cosmic energy. His relationship was, I think it was like slightly RNG, but only brought out like in the most panicked of situations. So it was like it could be brought out in a panic situation, but it wouldn't necessarily work. So like it was kind of like enigmatic from Kuri's new game. Like if you remember how his powers are worded, like when you have a power, like enigmatic is, it can do some crazy stuff, but it's not reliable and it can be kind of all over the place. But like I said, that's how Zeratul was with cosmic energy, and he was desperately trying to learn it because like once he mimicked it, and like he could actually bring out this aura of cosmic energy around him. Like people, it was hilarious because like it was like Zeratul's ultimate thing was a bit of misdirection. Like he wasn't a straight up fighter, but if you went up to a Saiyan and brought cosmic energy out, they were like, whoa, hold on, buddy, let's take it easy here. Let's let's not get carried away or anything like that. I didn't realize I was fighting a cosmic Celentri in here or anything like that. Like Saiyan's had a little respect for some dude who could wield cosmic energy, even if I couldn't wield it. But it was kind of my because I could bring it out really easy, but I just couldn't harness it. So it was kind of my bluff card. Is like just hope no one called me on it. Like, but like the amount of people that got called on the bluff was enough to impress me as not as as the player, not as the character. Like the character was like, it's like, yeah, I just hope no one calls me on this bluff because we'll get killed. But I was just like, whoa, there's a lot of people that respect this, like that know what it is and know its potential enough to be like, whoa, hold on a second here. Maybe I want to rethink this fight with this guy who has like no, because that was the thing. Like we were in the scope of people where when you sensed out their powers, it's like you could sense like next to nothing, or you could sense like this overwhelming force from them. Like the sensing of powers didn't matter too much because I remember we had like some Saiyans in our squad, and they would sense out people, and it's like, no, you don't really sense anything powerful. And it's like, yeah, this guy can destroy planets. So it's like there was, whether or not it was the ability to hide that or misdirect it, or it's just like it was on such a scale that it didn't matter. Like if measuring key versus measuring cosmic like might not exist on the same kind of thing. Because I remember a lot of people had the ability to sense powers. I personally didn't have like the ability to sense out power levels, but we had people in our squad that did. But that all being said, Stargazer was freaking everything, and he was usually in a very contained state. He had these bracers or these bands on his arm, and they would largely suppress his power so that he wouldn't, like, I want to say he was on like some Alternus level, powers where like maybe if he unsheathed the sword he could destroy a star or something like that, because that was what like I pretty much garnered from it. And I think Alex had said something like something to the effect of, I hope whenever I fight him he doesn't remove his bands, because then we're gonna be in real trouble. Because it's like Stargazer bands on is already everything. Like him not holding back, him basically unleashing the full might of his cosmic powers, like I think that's when you're talking about like not just star destroying, but like I don't like, it wouldn't be galaxy destroying. Galaxy, like I feel like he could take out a chunk of a galaxy, but like I think a system would be kind of effortless for him at that point, like when he takes off the bands. And we saw him take off the bands in some movies where, again, it's not really representative. Like movies can fudge things a little bit and stuff like that. Like the DM has kind of stressed that. So take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, like it was one of those ones where I think like we beat Stargazer back in the movie or something like that, and he looks upset and he pops his bands off, like there's these bands wrapped around his arm, and like there's this green cosmic energy everywhere, and it's movie over from that point. Like he's up there with Planet Throwing Boy for ending movies in college. um, yeah, but like I said, like what I was kind of talking about is it was equal parts frustration and intrigue. Like you wanted to know like more about these characters, but the knowledge wasn't out there, and there was no good way to go about getting that knowledge. Like you'd ask people around, stuff like that, like I don't know anything about this, or I couldn't tell you. And it's like, even like I think we talked to like Harold before this event happened, and he tried to talk us out of it and everything like that. And it's like, yeah, you don't understand. Like we already went against Legacy. He's coming to kill us. It's uh, us not taking you on and dying that way is just postponing our death for like another couple days or whatever. And eventually going out by DM Minion and stuff like that. But what I was trying to get at is like that was something I really liked about Generations is the creating these characters and the story that they were tied up in that made you want to know so much more about them, but also like keeping you, I don't want to say aloof from it, but like keeping you far enough away where it's like where you don't find out and you want to find out more and you always want to find out more and you want to find out like what happens next, that kind of thing. And it was just it's something that sticks in my mind with that specific character arc more than I'm not saying more than other games, but like more than other characters, at least within Generations when. But yeah, like it's just it kind of had me thinking about like like I said, Sean said about cosmic power and Tigress, how it's everything. It's like no, let's back up a second here. Like Tigress did some nice stuff and everything like that from the story, but it's like these people weren't boosted or anything like that by anything. Like these were just like straight up cosmic beings who are out there, insanely powerful, like destructive, healing. Like the energy did everything. It was it was one of those things where, and it was so cool to be able to say like to wield that power even if it was ineffectively or anything like that. It's like I remember the few times I did heal somebody, like it basically healed and restored them instantly, and it felt like it was effortless. Like there was no drain on my personal reserves, and like my personal reserves felt nearly infinite if I recall. Like because if you remember, like if you operate with an internal energy, like let's say ki or something like that, your character generally feels themselves draining as they activate, like let's say Kaioken, or if they go Super Saiyan or whatever, or like they fire blast. It's like no, cosmic energy is not like that. It's like it feels like you're drawing from like an infinite reserve of energy, and this is someone who has no concept of how cosmic energy works as far as like a character way, and just like that alone, I was like. I always kind of put it in the back of my mind. It's like maybe I should make a cosmic character sometime in Sean's game, but then I might have went through my phase where I was like, whoa. I tried to make a couple powerful characters, and they died horribly to powerful people. And that's why I made Omen, who was going to go to the high school dance and hang out with his friends. And he got messed up with something powerful. So that's why I made Cass, who's like, no, DM. Omen had some offensive powers and everything like that. Cass has none. He's going to heal some people. He's like, you know what? Why we could kill the healer, or we could recruit him for our side. Guess what? He gets to live. So, so that was my concept behind it. Plus, I kind of wanted to play like that support character as opposed to someone who was out there getting it in. Like I said, Omen could still get it in, like as far as like fighting. He was super agile and stuff like that. Like I said, Zeratul wasn't much of a stand-up fighter, but like Alternus was. Like Alternus was just Atticus was just like a straight up beast when it came to that kind of stuff. Like he'd tear you apart multiple ways, whether it was through shredding you with hellspawn chains, or ripping your ship apart with magnetism or anything like that, or tearing down the building around you. Like those people got it in, and I've slowly kind of, I don't want to say regressed, but shifted a bit. Just and like I said, it kind of went with that Sean's thing of saying like, oh, no, I don't think anyone's really played a magical character. I think maybe Timir started to make one in my game, one of the older characters. I'd have to look up what that character did again, but I thought it was kind of mystically based. I know Sean's Akozai character was sort of mystic, but not magical. Not like casting books or casting spells from books or anything like that. But yeah, it was just kind of a fun trek down memory lane, like remembering like just how everything those cosmic powers were, and I was like, cause it was just something I remembered. I was like, oh wait, I remember like a little bit about the cosmic stuff, and cosmic power is everything. And if something ever happens to Cass, or if he gets the opportunity, maybe I'll try to like unlock some knowledge of cosmic energy or something like that, because that stuff was everything. Like, and if I don't know if anyone else has any kind of experience, but like I said, maybe Timir, like no, because you have Sage, and Sage is definitely not cosmic. So it must have been from another game. But I don't know if you had another character or not. But yeah, like I said, let me know if you guys know anything more about cosmic energy and Generations, because it is freaking everything. Like it's destructive, it's healing, it's defensive, like being able to put like shields and stuff around yourself. Like I remember Harold had this bubble shield that would protect people really nice. And I was like, yeah, that seems like it could be something a cosmic being could do, but a lot more effortless and probably more effective. But Herald was still the man. But yeah, that was the other thing I wanted to ask Kareem too, and you can maybe answer this, maybe you can't, because like I think it kind of goes with the theme of curiosity, like the curiosity that Generations inspires. Is, do you know what the Sword of the Ancients did? Like Herald with Sword of the Ancients versus without like the Sword of the Ancients. Like I'm curious as to what that sword did. I think you mentioned sometime before, like it basically made him faster or stronger or something like that. But I didn't know if there was anything very specific about the sword that it did. So any information on that would be appreciated if you get the time for it. Alright, I'm going to try to stop this before it turns into a 30-minute video, so we'll stop it there. Alright, peace.